Sale to Boston for a bunch of prospects, including one of the top prospects in baseball in Yohan Moncada. Why did this trade make sense for both Chicago and Boston?
Well, these two teams are going in different directions. The White Sox have posted 4 straight losing seasons. They squandered a 23-10 start this past season. Looked like they might turn the corner. It's time to rebuild for them. They need to get young position players, young everything. And Chris Sale being signed to a dramatically undervalued contract, 3 years and about $39 million. It made sense to cash in on that and to get 2 or 3 really strong prospects that they could build around going forward. The Red Sox, they won 93 games last year, returned to the top of the AL East, but they were unable to get past the first round, in part because their starting pitching had been hit kind of hard. They lost Stephen Wright to an injury. They'd had some other issues in the rotation. David Price and Rick Porcello didn't give them the strong starts, and Clay Buchholz, who was starting in that series against Cleveland, has never really panned out to be the durable third starter that they need. So with Chris Sale, they've got 3 guys who can contend for a Cy Young Award now. This is a very strong rotation, and we should expect the Red Sox to be the heavy favorites in the American League right now.
Yeah, I mean, you got Sale's a 5-time All-Star, 27 years old, and you mentioned his contract, which is very team-friendly. What does he bring on the mound? The type of pitcher he is. He's unique. He's got a unique delivery. He's big, he's lefty, and he throws real hard.
Yeah, I mean, his mechanics and style of delivery, I mean, there's nobody else who throws like him. There's nobody who you can go back and look at the video and say, oh, this guy is an analog to him. If I look at this video and see how I did against this guy, I'm sort of prepared to face Chris Sale. This is a guy who misses a ton of bats, but who has sort of revised his pitching process last year to maybe back off on the strikeouts a little bit, get a few more ground balls so he could go deeper into games. It's paid off. He has been one of the top pitchers in the league despite pitching in a very hitter-friendly ballpark in Chicago. Very tenacious, aggressive, competitive guy. I think that'll wear well in Boston.
All right, when we talk about the Red Sox, of course, the mention of the Yankees is not going to be too far away, Jay. General manager of the Yankees, Brian Cashman, said that this was a Kevin Durant move for the Red Sox, that they're now the Warriors of Major League Baseball. What do you think? Are the Red Sox now the clear-cut favorite, at least in the East, if not the American League, or is kind of Cashman posturing a little bit, which he has a tendency to do?
Well, Brian Cashman's always going to do a little bit of posturing. I mean, he enjoys that back and forth with the media. But there is a certain element of truth to that with regard to the Warriors. I mean, this is a team that has so many weapons. I mean, like I said, 3 Cy Young contenders now. You don't know which of those guys, Price, Porcello, and Sale, is going to be the best. And I think this is really they have to be the favorites in the AL East. When you look at what's happened to the Blue Jays, they're probably going to lose both Edwin Encarnacion and Jose Bautista. They still have an up-and-coming handful of players there, but you can't replace those 2 sluggers that easily. And the guys that they've brought in, Steven Pearce and Kendry Morales, are just not the same caliber of players. The Orioles, are a solid team, but I think that they have issues. They've got to replace Wieters and Trumbo, and the Rays are rebuilding right now. So yeah, the Red Sox are the clear favorites in the division.